What's up guys, my name is Sean from White Jade Productions, and today we're going over what lights you should get if you're new to videography, cinematography, you wanna be a DP, or you just wanna learn how to light things better, upgrade your studio space maybe. This is the video for you. We're gonna go over 4 different lights that you should be looking to buy in order of what I would suggest you buy. I'm using all of these lights right now to create this one scene, so if you're looking to do more cinematic work and docu stuff where you can actually see your background outside of a window, this video is perfect for you. So let's get into it with light number 1. The first light I would recommend absolutely anybody picking up, especially if you're on a tight budget, is the Aputure Amaran 100D. This light is phenomenally powerful for its price. You can pick them up for a relatively cheap price. I'll throw up some eBay listings or something on the screen just because I'm not sure exactly what they run right now, but they're relatively cheap. You can buy them used for a good deal. Oftentimes they've been used as a studio light, so they come in almost new condition with the original box and everything. It's a phenomenal light. It'll hold up for a very long time. You can use it as a key light, you can use it as a fill light, you can use it as an accent light or just some room spacing light. For example, I will pull up the Sidus Link app, which is the selling point of most of these lights I'm going to talk about today. You can use them with an app, meaning you can control it without having to be present by it. This light is especially useful because I can turn it off. And there you go. Now this looks a little different. I'm using this as a room fill light. I'm not really using it to fill out me, but I just want to make sure that my key light is very concentrated on me and it's doing a little bit of the work back there. But this 100D is filling out the space, making it look like there's a window over here. It's kind of giving me the extra kick I need to make sure that this doesn't look too lit. It looks a little studio-y, but not too much that it distracts the viewer. Now, the reason I'm going to suggest mostly Aputure lights here is they all work within the Sidus Link app, which I think is absolutely phenomenal. And if you're gonna buy into a brand, Aputure is gonna be the best, although there are definitely alternatives out there like Nanlite, which I do like, but their app and their controls are slightly less sophisticated and have a lot shorter of a range. Anywho, there's a lot of stuff you can do with this. We're gonna talk about it real quick. I'm gonna go to lightning. I recently did a short film where I was working with pretty much all Aputure lights. That's what I use for the most part. And we use the lightning effect a lot. So boom, you know, there we go. We have lightning. It's got a bunch of other effects like that. You can do like strobe. Stuff's crazy. Trigger warning, my bad. And then you could, ooh, no, not what I meant to do. Haha, I meant to take the effect off. There we go, we're back. The reason I just wanted to take that segment to talk about the Sidus Link app is that there is a lot more it can do, and it works with all of your lights pretty much. So the other lights I'm gonna talk about in this video also work with the Sidus Link app. I just wanted to preface that because that is an advantage you get when going with Aputure instead of other brands. Their app just is better. It's kind of like Apple over Samsung. Apple's just a little easier to use. On to light number 2. This is the Aputure Amaran 60X. I'm using it in kind of a similar way as the 100D right now as kind of a kicker. I'm gonna turn it off. Oh, and you see how much of a difference that really makes? Not only am I getting a little extra fill on my face this way because it's bouncing off this white wall, but it's also kind of showing that these windows back there are really real. Again, I'll take it off. There's this weird separation that doesn't feel legitimate. That light from outside is not directly coming in here, and I want to make it look like it does. This light allows me to do it. I have it up on a C-stand, kind of just pointing down. I use it as a hair light a lot. This light is by color. I have it at 4,000 right now. We can definitely cool that down and we can warm it up. And it's not doing like a crazy amount right now, obviously, because I'm wearing blue. But if I were to take off my hat, oh gosh, my hair right now is horrible. But you can really see it there. I'm gonna take that back to 4,000 and put back on my hat. I need a haircut real bad. But that light is incredibly useful for adding fills, catch lights, a little bit of hair lights, any other sort of situation where you might need a secondary light. That is my go-to, mainly because it's battery powered. I like to run it off of NPF batteries and it'll run at full power for like an hour and a half, which is phenomenal. And I hardly ever run it at full power. Right now I'm running it at 70%. Sometimes I'll run it a little less, sometimes a little more, just depends what I'm using it for. But I've used this light on big projects, short films, documentaries, sports stuff. I've used it a lot in interview settings like this. That's where I get my most use out of it. I've used it as a key light. It was the first light I bought, so you can use it as a key light, although it's really gonna look very studio-esque and you're only gonna get so much punch out of it. You can only get the light so soft, but it's definitely my second choice in terms of picking it up. By the way, all of these lights are linked down below, so if you wanna check them out on Amazon, I do have affiliate links and that does help out the channel. So thank you guys for that. Out of all the lights I'm talking about today, the 60X definitely is my favorite, but we can't stay on it forever. Next, I want to talk about another light that I feel like is incredibly underrated, and we're going to get to a big light in a second, but I want to touch on this one first. This is my newer tube light. This sucker is an RGB light, so it does a bunch of stuff. I've talked about it before on this channel. This is acting as a little bit of fill and a catch light. I'm gonna pull it away right now because I'm gonna swap modes. It is RGB, completely fully. It has a bunch of effects. It's a faulty bulb, party, candle, TV, fireworks, lightning, fire alarm, ambulance, cop car. Don't use that one when you're on the road. I make that joke every time I talk about these lights, and I really should stop. But it just adds a little bit of an extra pop in this video. It adds a little something, a little kick. I love using these. These can be used as key lights if you're shooting in very dim situations. Here's some shots with using, I think, just this light, to be honest. This was from a YouTube video intro I did a while ago, but I'm pretty sure I used just these lights. They're incredibly versatile. I use them all the time. I was just on a set, that same set I was using that 60X for, a lot battery powered. I was also using this a lot for whenever I needed a little bit of extra something. Sometimes I get a flex fill or B-board and shine that light into there, get a little bit of extra fill in a space. It's incredibly useful, incredibly versatile, and I believe, depending on the sale on Amazon right now, it's like 40 bucks for 3 of them. That's a good deal. So this is the cheapest light on the list, also the most versatile. It's not always gonna be very useful in terms of it's the first thing you're gonna pull out of your bag, but it's something I always keep in my bag no matter what job I'm doing. On to light number 4. This is the big one. This is the light that I think if you're gonna shoot interviews, if you're gonna do any kind of documentary stuff, if you're a YouTuber or a social media content creator looking for a light to have some power, to have some punch, to allow you to see out the windows in the back, this is the light to get. This is the Aputure 300D. We're stepping out of budget, we're stepping out of Amaran, we're going to the big guns. Now there are 2 versions of this light. Specifically, there's the Mark 1 and the Mark 2. There is a bicolor version and a colored version, but we're not gonna talk about that today. This light, the original, the 300D Mark 1 is gonna be your best friend. I think I bought mine for $200 on eBay. I do have Mark 1 and Mark 2 listed down below in Amazon, but if you're looking to save a little bit of cash and you don't really care if it's a little banged up or it's been a little used, get the Mark 1 on eBay. I constantly see them around the $300 mark, but like I said, I got mine for $200. You can definitely buy them cheaper if you look. Facebook Marketplace is also a good spot. I'm just gonna turn this off. That does a lot of work. That does a lot of work. Now, stylistically, I don't have it like pointed straight at me right now. I'll turn it back on and I can angle that down, give me a lot more kick. But personally, I kind of liked where it was. I do like how this looks. It's adding a little splash onto the background. It comes with a grid. So if you're all about that isolation, you can get grids like this to slap on it, although it does darken it quite a bit. I don't have anything on it right now. It's lighting me. I wanted to give it this moody look and I wanted to light up the background. Now I'm gonna turn all the lights off and show you how much power all 4 of these lights really can do, starting with my key. When you remove that 300D, all the realism goes out the window, but this doesn't feel lit still. I have 3 lights on. I'm gonna turn off the 100D. Now we're in a different situation. Now this looks a lot different. Now we're losing all sense of realism. We're losing all sense of control and lighting of the situation. I'm gonna turn off that 60X. Okay, now I'm almost sitting in the dark. I have this one newer tube. Now I'm gonna turn this off. The only lights I have on in this room right now are practicals. Let's turn everything back on and see the difference. Boom. Isn't that insane? The difference that 4 lights can make. So if you're looking to upgrade your lighting setup, if you're looking to be a cinematographer, DP, or videographer, and you need lights, these are the 4 lights that I would buy right now. I don't find myself needing much more. The only extra light I would say somebody get is a 600D. They can definitely be very useful if you need the extra power or you need some extra softness or extra flexibility. But at that point, I tend to rent those or borrow them from friends. I find that this lighting setup is pretty much all you need for the most part. Lighting is always the most important part of the cinematic process. Once you have a good location and good lighting, no matter what camera or what lens you use, you're almost guaranteed to get a good image. Those are just sprinkles, seasoning on top. Don't neglect your lighting, get good quality stuff. Thank you guys for watching, like and subscribe, and until next time.